So if you guys are interested in home services, or if you're interested in actually scaling a business that, in my opinion, I think pretty much anyone can start and requires
About a
minimal
thousand
skill.
bucks.
Yeah, about $1,000.
Yeah.
That's less than I would have thought. That's awesome, man. So yeah, tell me about like kind of your story. Like, how did you end up getting to a big exit at 22 years old?
Yeah. So what happened was, had a job I was a lifeguard, a water park lifeguard. I wasn't even good enough for the wave pool, so I was lazy river.
There we
And
go.
dude, I'll tell you, the worst experience that you can ever have is having to walk the lazy river,
Hmm.
for 8, 9, 10 hours a day in water shoes. Like it is the worst experience. Getting paid like $10 an hour, and so I moved to Orange County. I grew up in a small town in Southern California called Hesperia,
Hmm.
and it's basically, I call it like the ass crack of Southern California. It's just like nothing out there. So we moved to Orange County, get the job as a lifeguard, and my mom was like, "Hey, you can have this car, but you got to take over the payments. It's $460 a month, a Toyota Rav4." And I get my first paycheck, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, mom, I made like no money, and I'm just going to work to basically cover this car payment is what it feels like." And she's like, "Yeah, welcome to the real world." And I'm like, "Okay, there's got to be a better way than
Hmm.
this." And so the whole, like, growing up, I thought you needed a degree to start a business. Come to find out, you didn't need a business degree to
Hmm.
start a business. You could just start. And I found that on the internet, and I'm like, well, let me go to the smartest guy I know. I went to my best friend from the seventh grade. His name is Sergio, and I was like, "Hey, dude, you didn't need a degree to start a business?" And he's like, "Yeah, I didn't know that either." So I'm like, "Oh, cool. So you want to start a business with me?" And he's like, "No, He's going to school for civil engineering, and he's like, I'm wanted to focus on civil." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And then a week later, he saw a Gary Vee video. He's like, "Hey, dude," and he also couldn't get a job. He's interviewing at like Arby's, McDonald's.
What year is this, by the way?
This is 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is like May, June 2017.
Hmm.
And so he comes back to me. He's like, "Let's start something." And we're like, "Okay, what do you want to start?" And so we decide that, like, our whole goal is like, let's make money tomorrow. So we think service, right? It's either between landscaping or window cleaning. And first, the idea was to go stand at the gas stations and clean windows. We didn't know window cleaning was an actual industry. And so what we did, I Google window cleaning, come to find out it's an actual industry. Commercial, residential, storefronts all need it. And so we look up the startup cost. We're like, all right, we can go for $150. We don't have that much money, right? Sergio doesn't even have a job. And so we start J&S window cleaning, Johnny and Sergio window
Hmm.
cleaning. We started on June 17th, 2017.
How long
And
did it take you to get your first client?
same day.
There you go. How'd
Yeah,
you do that?
same day. We went across the street after we got our stuff from Amazon. We had our Walmart polos on, and we pitched this donut shop right across the street from where we were living. And they were like, "Yeah, will pay you if the job is good." And we're like, "All right, like cool." So we clean the windows, and it's like 2 windows, and takes like an hour because, believe it or not, there's skill to cleaning windows.
For sure.
And so we're still like, we were just practicing like right before we went out to
Hmm.
like start pitching, and they're like, "Yeah, it looks really good, but how about we pay you in donuts?" And so we're like, "Oh, we'll take it." So our first job, we got paid in donuts, but then we're like, "All right, this is not paying the
Hmm.
bills." So we went down the street, and we pitched a dry cleaner, and she haggled us down from like $20 down to $12. It took us an hour and a half. So maybe like $3 an hour, but that was our first job to yeah, that was our first job. And
Yeah.
then we pitched like 2 or 3 more down the
Got it.
street, and we landed one for like $40 a month. We landed one for $50 a month, and then we landed one for $80 a month. So we made, all in all, I don't know, like
So
close
what,
to
you just
$200.
progressively try to like see how much more you could get, or like what determined
They,
the price points?
they were just bigger and bigger jobs. So we
Got it.
priced by window. So I think we were doing like, I don't remember, dude, like $4, $4
That's
a pane
crazy.
or something.
That's
But
funny.
yeah.
So if I'm brand new, I want to get into home services. How can I go make my first 10 grand?
Oh, dude, very simple. It depends. You have 2 ways to do it. You could do it
Hmm.
the remote way, or you could do it the sweaty way, right?
Hmm.
Knowing what I know now, you need a squeegee. You need, if you're gonna do window cleaning, right? You can
Hmm.
do this in window cleaning, house cleaning, car detailing. Get whatever equipment you need, bare minimum, because most of those industries you don't need a license for, and you can get started for $200 or less,
Hmm.
right? Get the bare minimum equipment and just go start knocking on doors. I would do it in residential though. Don't do it in storefronts, and just say, "Hey, you need your windows cleaned? We're here." Like we just did your neighbors next door, and go door to door, and you can easily make $10,000 in your first month with window cleaning just by going door to door.
I love
Now,
that.
if you don't want to do the work, let's say you have a 9 to 5, you could do it the remote way, right? Where you can use contractors. I love contractors. It's something I wish I knew when I started, because contractors already have the equipment and the vehicles necessary to go out and do the
Hmm.
job. You don't have to pay for their gas. You don't have to pay for that vehicle, which we bought 3 trucks in the window cleaning business eventually. And so and we had, we're
Yeah.
19, 20, no credit, so we're like just draining our profit. contractors already have their own cars and equipment, and you also don't have to pay for that equipment. So if they lose something or they break something, it comes out of their pocket, not yours. And they have something W-2 employees never will have, which is pride and ownership, because they're still their own business, right? And so your job becomes, how do I generate the leads?
Yeah, your marketing agency at that point,
Yeah.
right?
And so all you need to do is go to Google Business Profile, make a Google Business Profile location. It's free. Sign up for Google Local Service Ads, which is just going to be the big green Google Guaranteed badge that pops up whenever you search for, if you're looking for a house cleaner near you, a window cleaner near you, you're looking for an electrician. It's going to be the first thing that pops up into the search bar. What I love about home services is it's so much in demand, right? It's a supply constrained business. So like people are searching for it all the time. So when someone searches up house cleaning Las Vegas, let's say we're in Las Vegas, who do you think they're going to call? They're going to call the first company that pops up into that search bar, right? And so you can get leads for $20, $30, $40, but they're super high intent. So you should be able to close them at a 50, 60, sometimes like my mom's closing like a 90% clip. So because they're already searching, you can get really small customer acquisition costs. And then as long as you find one or two good contractors, send them to the job, and then you pay them. We pay our contractors 40 to 45%. So we're keeping 55 to 60% of our gross revenues.
Okay. And then how much would you say ad costs are? So, okay, you in that model, you have, $20, $30 a lead, you're paying half. And then what are you charging?
You charge to our average for house cleaning specifically.
Sure.
The average cleaning I'm see for a first time deep clean is $350.
Okay.
And now keep in mind, it's kind of like a software business. We talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
You do the first time deep clean, you're going to have about, as long as your contractors are good. If you're sending,
your retention's going to be great,
your
right?
retention's going to be good. Like 20 to 30% of those people are going to sign up for weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly service. And so you'll make a little bit of money. I would say about 20% profit you should be at on your first clean, but then you're boosting up those profit margins going into that weekly, bi-weekly, monthly service.
Got it. Okay. So you scale your business up. At what point were you like, all right, let's see if we can sell this thing?
Well, we never had plans to sell. We were going to build like the Chick-fil-A of window cleaning was always the goal. Like we were dead focused on building this window cleaning business. And we had really started to get up there. Like we landed the two biggest private university contracts that we still have. The business still has them to this day. And so we were like, 3 trucks, big crews. And I was tweeting about how we were running contractors instead of employees and how I was running my window cleaning business. And my handle on Twitter, I got lucky. I think this played a big role. It was Squeegee God. It still is Squeegee God. And people started following me, and they just really liked that I was this college student growing this window cleaning business at like 21, 22. And they were asking me how they could do it too. And so I was like, well, you can't really do it. And I had just read $100 million offers. And so I had no idea this whole like online world existed. And then read that book. I was like, we could totally like do like gym launch for cleaning, right? And so that's what we actually decided to do was squeegee launch.
So very original.
That lasted like a month maybe. We actually ended up selling a couple of packages, but I was like, no, this is not going to work because it's too challenging to do the sweaty way. And then also, like, if you want to do it the remote way with contractors, you need to be in a really large metro. And I had people from all over hit me up. So I was like, house cleaning would work though. And at the time, like my mom had raised me on her own pretty much, and she was driving Uber. And so I was like, how do I like retire my mom and also build the authority in house cleaning, which I know will work because it's the same thing. Like I know I can coach someone at the time to get results in cleaning, right? The only thing that's different is you're selling a different service. But other people aren't going to believe that. At least that was my thought process. So, I was making good money with the cleaning business, the window cleaning business, but it wasn't like, hey mom, here's $5,000. Don't drive because we're living in Orange County. It's expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'm going to start a cleaning business. I opened up a new Amex Gold, and I'm going to call my shot on Twitter. I'm going to say I'm going to launch a new house cleaning business to show you guys this works in pretty much any niche. And so, new Amex Gold card, put $2,000 of ad spend into Yelp, which was our primary channel. It still is. And we ended up doing $12,000 of revenue our first month. And I told my mom, I just stopped driving. Like, just trust me. Speak these words I tell you to speak on the call when the leads come. And
that's it.
And that's it. Yeah, hired the cleaners. And we did $12,000 our first month with $4,000 of profit. Did $20,000 the next month with $8,000 of profit. And she hasn't driven Uber since that January of 2022 when we launched that business.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Or December, I believe it was. 2021. But
that's awesome. And
then to answer your original question was, that took off, right? We launched Home Service Academy. We pre-sold 15 people to make sure we could get results. And so it was like a year-long thing, 15 people, So for the next 3 months, all we did was like, how do we get these people results? And we pre-sold like $50,000 in packages.
Mm-hmm.
And those people crushed it. And then I took that 50 grand from that we collected, didn't spend any of it, just put it into like, okay, let's get a videographer. Let's start doing YouTube content. Let's start doing TikTok. Let's start doing Instagram. And then Home Service Academy was born. And that business went 0 to 2.8 million in 9 months.
That's amazing.
And so then we were like, what do we do? Like,
so are we on month 9 now? Or was that the first 9 months? And now, how long has Home Service Academy been around?
Almost 4 years now.
4 years. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So that was
Nice,
the
man.
first year. And
Was-
so
yeah.
the middle of that run up, that initial run up,
Mhm.
we were like, what are we doing? Like, let's not do both of these businesses. Let's focus on one. And Home Service Academy just seemed like the way better vehicle.
Nice.